My fiancé broke up with me on my wedding day because of fake prophets. The morning of my wedding, I woke up feeling like the world had finally chosen my side. Everything was perfect. The dress hung by the window, glowing softly in the early light. My phone was buzzing non-stop. Friends, family, well-wishers. My mother was already even crying before 8 a.m. saying my daughter is finally settling down. And I believed it too. After everything I'd been through, after all the heartbreak and disappointment, this felt like peace. His name was Daniel. He was calm, kind, patient, the kind of man people describe as God-fearing. Which is why I didn't question it when he said we should invite a prophet to bless the wedding. That was my first mistake. The church was filled before noon. Music played softly, guests whispered and smiled, cameras flashed. It felt like a dream I had waited my whole life to live. I was already dressed, sitting in the bridal room when the door opened. Daniel walked in, but he wasn't alone. Behind him was a man I'd never seen before. Tall, thin, wrapped in a long white garment. His eyes were sharp, too sharp, like he was looking through me instead of at me. "This is Prophet Samuel," Daniel said quietly. "He just came to pray before the ceremony starts." I forced a smile. "Okay." The prophet didn't even greet me, he just stared. Then he shook his head slowly. "No." The room fell silent. My maid of honor laughed nervously. "No words." He stepped closer. "This wedding cannot hold." I felt my chest tighten. "What do you mean?" I asked. He pointed directly at me. "This woman is not who she says she is." At first, I thought it was a joke, a bad one. But no one laughed. The prophet began to speak louder, his voice filling the room like thunder. "She carries a spirit of destruction. Every man that joins with her will fall. I have seen it." My mother gasped. My bridesmaids started whispering. I looked at Daniel, expecting him to defend me, to say something, anything. But he just stood there, confused, afraid, silent. "Daniel," I said, my voice shaking, "you don't believe this, right?" He didn't answer immediately. That was when I knew something was wrong. Within minutes, the entire church knew. The music stopped, the guests stood up, murmuring. The prophet had moved to the altar now, declaring things I didn't even say. "She has done it before," he shouted. "Men around her never prosper. Ask her, ask her, ask her about her past." My past. Yes, I had relationships that failed. Yes, one of my ex lost his job after we broke up. Another struggled financially, but that was life, wasn't it? Or was it? The doubt spread like poison, and the prophets knew it. "Bring her," he commanded. Before I could react, my own aunt held my hand tightly and led me out of the bridal room, out of safety, into judgment. Hundreds of eyes turned toward me as I stood in my wedding dress, suddenly feeling like I was on trial. "Confess," the prophet said. "I have nothing to confess," I snapped, tears already falling. He laughed, a deep, unsettling laugh. The spirit always denied. I turned to Daniel again. "Please," I begged something. "Look at me. You know me." He finally spoke. "Why do all your relationships end badly?" The question hit me like a slap because they were wrong for me. I cried. But even as I said it, I heard how weak it sounded. The crowd murmured louder. My mother started crying. "This cannot happen," she whispered. "Not today." And just like that, everything collapsed. Daniel stepped back. "I can't do this," he said. 3 words. That was all it took. I need to be sure he had it, but it didn't matter anymore. The damage was done. The wedding was cancelled just like that. No vows, no rings, no celebration, only silence and shame. Guests left in whispers. Some avoided looking at me, others stared too long, as if trying to see the spirit the prophet has spoken about. Later that evening, still in my dress, I sat alone in the empty hall. The decorations were still up, the cake untouched, my dream frozen in a moment that would never happen. And that's when I saw him again, the prophet, standing at the entrance, watching me. He walked slowly towards me, his expression calm, now almost satisfied. Why? I asked. My voice broken. Why would you do this to me? He tilted his head slightly. I saved him. From what? He leaned closer. From you. Week passed, 3 months, people talk. Of course they did. In our own kind of society, stories like mine don't die, they grow. Some believed the prophet, some didn't, but it didn't matter because the result was still the same. I was the woman whose wedding was stopped by a prophecy. It wasn't until much later I found out the truth. The prophet wasn't sent by God, it was sent by someone else. Someone who didn't want that wedding to happen. Daniel's ex. A woman who still had his heart, or at least enough influence to destroy mine. Money changed hands, a lie was planted, and a man who was supposed to love me chose fear over trust. The painful part isn't that my wedding was cancelled. It's that in the moment I needed him the most, he believed a stranger over me. And that's when I realized, even if the wedding had happened, the marriage would never have survived.